Hello everyone, welcome back to the... Oh, well, yeah, it kind of depends. It really just sort of depends on... Okay, fine, we'll make a video about it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So, I've been getting a lot of comments and questions about exactly which broom I think is best for each role. Now, I'm not being disingenuous when I say it really does depend on your personal preferences, right? But I'll show you guys what I use or what choices I tend to make and some of the reasoning behind those decisions. Now this video is purely going to be just about which brooms are best for each role. I'll have an updated guide to the different skill points and full-on builds for each position as separate videos. Now, as I've said before, I don't think there is exactly one correct way to build your role or one correct broom for each role, because it sort of depends on your own personal strengths and weaknesses and the build that you're trying to make. So when we're talking about brooms for the Seeker, I tend to pick either the Nimbus or the Firebolt, and lately I've been going with the Nimbus over the Firebolt, simply because it just feels like it's easier to turn and sort of maneuver than the Firebolt itself. Now when picking a broom for a Seeker, I tend to prioritize my max speed, my boost efficiency, and my acceleration. After that, it kind of just comes down to personal feel. Obviously, the Nimbus has 6 for max speed, 6 for boost efficiency, and 6 for acceleration, as opposed to the Firebolt, which has full max speed, 4 boost efficiency, and max acceleration. What this basically means is you're going to go just a tiny bit faster on this broom, and you're going to get up to speed faster because of the acceleration. That means you can start boosting faster than the Nimbus. You also have much more health, so if you're not quite as good at dodging bludgers, then you might prefer the Firebolt because you're not going to get knocked off as easy. It also has a higher stun duration multiplier, meaning that you'll be able to start using your abilities and start boosting again quicker when you get hit with either a bludger or a tackle than you would on the Nimbus. However, it also has a lower dodge cooldown, meaning that you're not going to be able to dodge as quickly as you would on the Nimbus. And then also its maneuvering speed is a 1. And like I said, the Nimbus just feels like it's able to turn faster and a little quicker than the Firebolt, and that's something I prefer in the brooms. So take all of this information and make whatever choice you feel is right for you. For me, I believe it to be the Nimbus, but you might prefer the Firebolt. For chasers, I tend to choose either the Firebolt or the Shooting Star. I started taking the Shooting Star at first, and I've kind of started choosing Firebolt. The reasoning for this kind of aligns with the Seeker. As a chaser, my number one job is to get the quaffle and get away from everyone else and get to the other end of the field. So for that, I want max speed, and I want to be able to start boosting as fast as I can, and the Firebolt is clearly a great choice for that. However, the boost efficiency isn't fantastic on it, meaning that I will run out of boost sooner than possibly the other chasers on the field, which would not be a good thing. However, if my keeper is able to spam out play callers, then that might not be an issue for me. And similarly with the Shooting Star, it's just slightly slower and has a worse boost efficiency than the Firebolt, but also has max acceleration. It has slightly lower health, but a much faster health regeneration rate. So again, a lot of these things kind of come down to personal preference. For me, I tend to choose the Firebolt for my chasers. Now for beaters, I don't play beater very often, same thing with keeper, so I don't have as much personal experience when it comes to choosing a broom for these two roles, but these are my thoughts on it. So the Oak Shaft is the broom that is unlocked for the role specifically in the challenges. Now obviously it's kind of thought that if there's a broom you specifically unlock for playing as a role, then the devs probably think that these are what would be best for those roles to use and play with. As far as the stats on the screen, this is obviously a level 1 broom for me. I haven't leveled up all of my brooms, so I can do testing like in my other videos. However, I'll put an image on the screen that has this broom's full stats at level 5. You can see that it's really lacking the max speed department, has a pretty good boost efficiency though, and a decent acceleration speed. It's got good max health, good health regen, and an alright dodge cooldown. So why would the devs recommend this broom? As the beater and keeper, you're going to be targeted a lot because there is only one of that position on the pitch. So if you get knocked out, your team's just going to be completely without that role for the next 15-ish seconds of the game, which is a pretty big downside. So prioritizing things like your max health and your health regen might be more beneficial than something like your max speed. Especially when, as a beater, you're kind of going around the field picking and choosing your targets. You're not necessarily trying to keep up with someone. You're more than likely trying to cut someone off or just throw a bludger at them. However, I do think it's beneficial to be able to catch up to some of these players for tackling purposes. So I've been running the Legacy Broom. Again, I'm not super well versed in the beater role, but I would probably pick between one of these two. If anyone watching is a permalock beater, please leave your thoughts about your broom selection in a comment below. I would really appreciate it. Similarly for Keeper, Swift Stick is the broom that you unlock doing the Keeper challenges, and again, I have this at level 1 also. It's actually not even unlocked for me. That shows you how much I play Keeper in this game, but I'll have an image on screen with the full level 5 stats. So you can see that it's not great in the speed department, but really good in boost efficiency, acceleration, and then phenomenal in maneuvering speed and drift distance. And like we've covered in my previous testing videos, maneuver speed is actually really important as a keeper for when you're not exactly diving between the goalposts, but just in general moving around them. So this would be my #1 recommendation for anyone in the keeper role. I have seen a lot of keepers running the Nimbus, I assume for very similar reasons. The maneuvering speed is quite high, not as high as the Swift Stick. Same with the drift distance, but higher max speed, boost efficiency, and acceleration. And yeah, that does it for this video, guys. Pretty quick, simple, to the point. I hope I was able to answer a lot of your comments and questions about what broom in general is best for each role. I know I've said in a lot of comments before that it really depends on personal preference, and I still think that is very much true. I don't think there's only one correct way or one correct broom to pick, but I do think it can be whittled down to 2 or 3 brooms. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.